Hello and welcome to the Tried It podcast, where we discuss all things from millennial struggles to relationships and love and everything in between. I'm Maya.
I'm Jade.
And I'm Kedeisha.
Welcome to another episode.
Woo!
Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday.
Sorry about the weather.
Oh my God. Do you know it's going to be like this from like now on now?
Yeah, so tomorrow's going to be like raining like horribly.
It's raining for the next like week straight. Saturday was the last nice day.
I don't mind it being cold.
Just need the
Not
sun.
hella cold, but I just need the brightness. Yeah, that's the killer for me.
Yeah.
That really, really
Do you remember when we
reflects my mood.
discussed our favourite Christmas? Or what our ideal Christmas would be?
Yeah, cold,
but bright.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
okay.
Chris,
Jade wanted snow.
Yeah, snow with some sun.
No, thank you.
Oh, dead. I just want it to be bright and crisp.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't mind when you can see your breath. That's fine for me.
Oh, that's
I
a
need
bit
to get a new
cold.
winter coat.
Me too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't have one. Like every year I'm like, I'm going to get one. Last year I got one, but it looks like a winter coat, but it doesn't keep you warm like a winter coat. So I need to get one that actually does the job.
I feel like I have to buy winter coats every year because in fucking England, it's winter 90% of the year. So I
That's
wear
true.
it like all year round.
true.
Like,
I've got about 5 knocking about.
I wore a coat the other night, the first time since like May.
I haven't worn a coat in a minute, actually.
Yeah.
Even
Oh,
my
since the
coat's like
coldness.
yesterday.
Even today, I haven't worn a coat.
I think
God.
when I was...
It's only when it gets to night time, it's cold.
Do you know what I used to do, though? I don't know about you guys, but when I was in school, my skirt would be the shortest, literally
yeah,
up
me
my
too.
arse.
Yep.
And it would be freezing.
Yep.
yes.
But I didn't feel it.
Oh, I did, but I was like, just
Yeah.
just
I
go
used
through
to-
the place.
I used to have a winter coat and my mum took me to H&M and I hated it. I think I've told the story before. And I used to leave home with the coat on and then take the coat off when I got to the bus stop, put it in a bag and just wear my blazer.
Are you
Don't mind the snow on the floor. I look cool, like literally.
And as well, do you remember those pumps? Those pumps that everyone
Yeah.
had the shoes.
Yeah, I
and they
wasn't
would be so
allowed them.
cold. I
I
could
wasn't
feel,
allowed them.
No.
You can feel the ground.
Like, similar to what you're wearing now.
Yeah, I could feel the cold through the floor.
I
through
wasn't
my shoes,
allowed
and I was
them.
like,
no.
My mum took me to Clark's and make sure I had some firm fitting shoes.
That's how
Nice.
we know you got money.
well treated.
No, but it wasn't because she wanted, like, it was a money thing. It was just because she's like, you're going to ruin your feet.
essential,
Yeah,
yeah.
you're going to ruin your feet.
That's how we know
As
you
I
got
did.
money.
Yeah, but would people be wearing them because they didn't have money?
Yes.
Not
No,
in,
because it
not
was
in
the
Barnet.
style. It was the fashion.
Yeah,
that's
in
why.
Barnet, it was because of the fashion. That's what I'm saying. So I used to get laughed at for my shoes, even though they were the ones keeping me
Really?
clean, warm,
I used
and
to go
supported.
shoe zone
Oh, I remember that.
and have to get just some ugly looking black shoes and I would hate them all the time. I always felt like the people around me had like the stylish stuff and I had the practical stuff. And yeah, it was practical, but I was like if I look back now, it'll be fine to wear now.
Trust
I wouldn't
me.
mind wearing it now.
Trust me.
Yeah.
But back then,
It's always like, I can't be seen dead in this. Like, I can't possibly.
Like I remember year 7, my grandma, I was staying with her and we came to London for the day. This was my first time to London. And we did tourist. And then after her house, I was going back to school to year 7. And she took me school shopping, what's it called?
Pencils
pens
and
and
stuff.
Stationery. I got you.
And a school bag. And we went to Jane Norman.
Oh my God.
And I was over the
big
moon.
bag
I
with
was
the
over
one
the moon
thing.
because it was a designer, but I got the ugliest bag in the store.
Yeah.
So we got this bag and I'm thinking, yeah, I'm going to go back to school. I've got designer. Everyone's going to be so jealous and blah, blah, blah. Got to school. Everyone had Primark handbags.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Why have you wasted the money on this?
I can't wear this bag again. I need to get a Primark bag. And then literally, I think that weekend I went to Primark, spent my own money and got a Primark bag. And every time I spoke to my nan, she'd be like, how's your bag? And I'd be like, it's great, nan, thanks.
Still in the box. Thing is, what you said about the practical stuff, I was that, but I didn't have a problem with like that. I didn't mind wearing shoes that were like funny to everyone else, but it was everyone
Really?
else who had the problem.
Oh.
You're sensible.
It wasn't that. I was just so comfortable.
Yeah,
I was just
nobody
like,
said
all right.
anything to me, but I felt some type of
Yeah.
way.
Oh, Bebby
Yeah.
said stuff to me.
Yeah.
Or someone used to say to me, I'm not even going to name the person, but if they're listening, they'll know who they are. They'll be like, yeah, it's so weird because I knew you were in school because you're pretty, but I just thought you can't be seen in them shoes, boy. And I used to be like...
That's so funny. Wow.
But I've noticed that more and more, and this is a good segue onto what we're talking about actually, most things I do triggers other people to respond because they feel uncomfortable. So many things.
Like not drinking alcohol.
Not drinking alcohol, eating healthy, training, not spending money in most places. Literally most things that people are always just like, they've got something to say. I never feel any way, but they have something to say. And a lot of people would love to do the stuff I do and not put themselves through shit, but they can't take what other people say. So they're really, it stops them. They're just like, I'll just do it because everyone else is. And I've just never been like that. I've just always been like, all right, so you can laugh.
Would you say that you're like that with everything? Or just like most things or some things?
Now, yeah. Before, I went through, the whole time I was like drinking and going out and stuff was mainly to please others.
Can you guys imagine? Can you imagine?
Yeah, I really can't
Jade,
imagine.
it was there.
Oh my God, yeah, it was. Even I can't imagine, but I was actually there.
She
yeah,
was there.
I remember us-
Wow.
Back of the bus, drunk,
Yeah,
licked off
I remember
my
that.
face,
Someone
chatting
was
to
throwing up,
strangers,
and then we got
me.
them bread. Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God! I remember exactly where you threw up to.
Thank you. We're not going to paint that graphic scene for you. But yeah,
Crazy.
trust me.
Oh,
A lot of it was
God.
that. And like I said as well.
Did you
before,
smoke?
I tried smoking.
Oh,
used to
I
think it
never
was
did
so
that shit.
cool. I wished I had. I
Same.
loved
Oh, I
I
didn't.
proper tried to smoke because when I used to go and stay with my Bedford family on some holidays and stuff, that everyone smoked, and I remember just like thinking, if I smoked,
I'll be accepted.
I'd be like
I'll be
even
cool.
more close
Yeah.
with them
Trust
all because
me.
like when they're all like in a room smoking and I'm in there like
Yeah.
like I feel uncomfortable, or they go outside.
Secondhand smoke here.
They go outside and I want to go outside, but I got no business being outside, so I have to stay
Yeah.
inside. So I used to hate it, and I used to be like, right, next time I come, I'm going to be able to smoke. And I used to like practice smoking.
I
Oh my
used to get my
God.
I even used to go and
I used to
like
get my
buy
granddad's butts.
cigarettes.
Buy.
Or
I would never spend my voice in
like when I come back to Leicester, or like one time, I rolled up like a peppermint tea bag.
Oh my God.
Because I also wanted to practice rolling.
I could roll.
See, I
Could
feel like
you?
it's if your family is around you, because like my family never. Well, they didn't really smoke. Actually, no, that's a lie. My dad did. I remember seeing him when I was younger, and he was smoking outside, and I was like, "Why are you doing this? It's so bad for you. Why are you doing this?" And he was like, I only do it once in a while." And then my sister was like, "If you carry on doing it, that means I'm gonna smoke. And if you don't
gosh.
put it out right now, then when I'm older, I'm gonna smoke." And he didn't put it out. I remember
wow.
thinking like,
You have
He doesn't care.
"You're like
Just
fully
don't-
evil. Like I'm never gonna smoke in my life."
Well, that's so good that you think that way. Because
Yeah.
a lot of people could be like, oh, fuck it. If he done it, I'll do
Yeah,
it.
and then the first time kids in Barnet were like smoking, and they were like, "Do you want some?" I took one little puff, and I was like, "Why am I doing this?" I was like, I don't want to do this.
Every
I was
time
like,
I tried
don't
to
care.
smoke, I would choke. Like I
could
can
do it.
barely
Yeah.
walk up the stairs, let alone smoke a cigarette. Like literally, it
Yeah.
takes the life out of me. After you cough once, there's no stopping.
Yeah, yeah.
Like by the time I finish coughing, the cigarette's bent out.
I'm very scared of addiction in all forms.
I just feel like
to
you're
the
setting
point where
yourself up.
I was laughing at myself the other day because I remember once in school, I got this app that changed your eye colour. And then for like a week on pictures, and then for like a week, I'd come in every day and be like, "Look, guys, this is me with green eyes, this is me with blue eyes." Like literally, that was the level of how naughty I'd go. And one day, I came in and my friend was like, "Oh, have you got no pictures for us today?" And I was like, "No, I deleted the app." And then she was like, "Why?"
It
She was
got
like,
too much.
I was having too much fun. And then she was like, "You're limiting your own fun. You limit everything
Oh my
and your
gosh.
fun." And I've always been like that. I'm literally, and my mum says it as well because I live with my mum now.
I had to delete the Kim Kardashian game because of that.
Yeah.
It was taking over my life.
I think it's
Yeah.
a Korean trait. We're very much like we don't like anything else having control over us. We can't have that.
If I feel like I'm getting too much into something, I will stop it.
Yep.
But then I will be able to come back to it later
Yeah,
on.
when the time's right.
But yeah, when
Yeah.
there has to be a big break in
Yeah,
between for me
it's
to
true.
like wean myself off.
So it's like even like I was saying, because I live with my mum now, and normally it's her and my brother because they're very alike and they're very close, and they do exactly the same thing. So the other night we were up late, and I didn't necessarily have to be up the next day, but you know how I don't like being in like asleep for too long, too late. And she had to be up for work, but she was like, "Let's play the next one. Let's play the next one." Rap game, and I was just like,
This is a
"No,
slippery
no,
slope."
we can't." Then she's like, and I was like, "Right, I'll give us 10 minutes." So we played 10 minutes, and it was 12:10, and I was like, "Right, we need to go now." She's like, and I was like, "We have to go. It's time
Oh
for
my
bed."
So strong-willed.
Yeah, but I have to, because otherwise, if
Yeah.
you don't have rules, where are you? I know.
You're gonna be such a good mum to be like,
Thank
fully
you.
10 more minutes. That's it. You're not gonna be in a
I
pushover.
don't know if it's good,
But
or
no
if
one was
it's,
like that to me. So it's not about
scary.
parenting. It's just in you or it's not.
Yeah. I feel like the one thing I get addicted to is coffee. Like I can't have coffee 4 days in a row, or I'll be like fully addicted. And like when I stop taking it, it's not even like that means I just want it more. Like when I stop taking it, I get headaches for like days. It
This
gets
is
really bad.
crazy.
Just if I have it 4 days in a row, honestly,
When I
it's
hear
really
people
bad.
talk about coffee and like energy drinks, like I can literally.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. I had to do it. Go on. I'm so sorry. Go on.
I could literally drink coffee and go to bed.
What?
I could drink a Lucozade and close my eyes and sleep
Oh hell
till tomorrow.
no! That shit like.
I'm like that with pooing. I could eat all the stuff you say. That's hard. Like
What are you talking about?
You know that drink you always like, if I only have that Chinese tea, that's it. Which I haven't had yet. But still, anything anyone around me eats and they're like, oh, that goes straight through me. Nothing goes through me.
Oh yeah, no, same.
Oh, right,
same.
See?
Yeah. I was about to give somebody as an example, but that's TMI on their behalf.
They're not even here to defend
They're
themselves.
not even here to defend themselves. But yeah, people say that all the time and nothing makes me go to the toilet apart from that Chinese tea, which is lethal.
I want to try
I'm
it.
so intrigued.
Bring some on Thursday so I can try it.
You guys, that should be your shout out.
Nothing will
No.
happen to me. I promise. Nothing. My mum says I have the constitution of a horse.
I
I'm
promise
serious.
you that tea.
You say that, Kedeisha. You've seen it here first.
Right, wait. If it does, then what?
Nothing. Why is everything a bet with you?
Yeah.
Why is everything?
Because
Put money on
I
it.
got money on the mind, man.
Honestly.
Everything needs to make me money. Otherwise
Time
it's
is
not
money,
worth.
innit?
Speaking of your damn mind,
Right, okay.
how's everyone's ego? Such a big ego.
Ego.
I was thinking of that song
I
too.
love his big ego.
Ego.
Such a huge ego.
Love is big ego.
So big. I was waiting for your reaction. All right, Jade, come on.
Right. Where do we begin? How's my
Okay.
ego?
Yeah, so what's
First,
everyone...
what's an ego?
Yeah, that's it. That's what I was going to say. Go on. Swowing with the facts, Jade.
All right. Well, okay. We'll start with the whole theoretical stuff. So,
According to Freud,
yeah, according to Freud,
Man
there's
like.
the psyche, that the way we think our personality is structured into three parts. So the ID, the ego, and the superego. And the ID is basically the primitive and instinctual component of our personality. This can be like sexual or aggressive, just like things that we want, and we're like, right, I need to have it now. Do you know what I mean? We need to
Urges.
yeah, just quite instinctive, really. And
it's also, they say it's id, by the way. It's not ID.
okay, sorry.
But it's spelled
Yeah.
ID, so
Yeah.
you can see the confusion.
So it engages in primary process thinking, which is primitive, illogical, irrational, and fantasy. And it doesn't really think about reality. It just wants it, and you know, it thinks that you should get it, basically. It doesn't think about the consequences, and we feel pleasure when it's when we get it. And then there's the ego. So the ego operates accordingly to the reality principle. So basically, it takes in consideration societal norms and everything. Like, you can't just go and get whatever you want and do whatever you want. You need to think about what's normal and etiquette and rules and everything.
So a metaphor for it is the id is the horse, the animal, the one that's just going for the meat or whatever it's doing. And then the ego is the one on
rider.
top of it, the
Yeah.
knight that's trying to guide it through the woods
Yeah.
and telling it not to eat that off the floor.
Yes.
You never know.
And then there's the superego. So the superego incorporates the values and the morals of society, which are learned from like your parents and others as you grow up. It develops from around the age of 3 to 5. And basically, it's like it takes into your ideal self. So who you want to be, who you think you should be, and
It's the super ego that makes you
Yeah.
feel guilty about stuff. So even though like we've all done it, like you know that you have an urge to do something,
Yeah.
you end up doing it, even though you know you shouldn't, but you know. So the fact that you know you shouldn't is the ego part of it, but
Yeah.
then the feeling bad for doing it is the super ego.
yeah. So our ego, and basically, our ego is just trying to like balance the two and trying to find the middle, basically. And yeah, our ego, which I found really interesting, our ego doesn't necessarily mean that we're like so full of ourselves
Yeah.
and think we're great. It can
That's
also be
what I
something that
thought
makes
ego
us feel
meant.
like we're not good enough. It
Yeah.
can also, so which I thought was really interesting. So I feel like there's been times in my life where I've probably
Took a blow
been
to
more-
the ego.
yeah.
That's
we all
why
have
is that
both
not
ego.
more of a said thing? Like that should be a saying. Like
Yeah.
my ego really took a blow there. Do you know what I mean? It
Yeah,
took a blow to the
it
ego.
is though,
Because it's
isn't
your ego that does take the blow to everything, but we think it's ourselves, take it so
true.
personally. So the next question was going to be, when has your ego held you back?
I feel like it always comes through in an argument. Well, no, that's a lie. It doesn't always come through in an argument. It used to come through when I noticed it the most, like in arguments when someone's saying something and you know it hits you and you're like, oh, like you're saying about me. Like when you're like this, and this, but like you're saying this about me. And I feel like, but luckily over time, like I have taught myself to just take a step back from that initial feeling of like, excuse me, like what are you telling me? And thinking actually logically about what they're saying, like, oh, maybe what I said was rude. Like maybe, maybe I didn't mean it that way, but yeah, maybe I did hurt someone's feelings. And yeah, saying sorry, that is a really big thing that I think is hard for people with a big ego, which back in the day was hard for me as well. But I think now I'm happy to be like, even if I'm arguing for 10 hours, on the 11th hour, I realise I was wrong. I'm like, you know what? I'm really sorry. Like, you're right. I was wrong.
I might need to sleep on it before I apologize. But nowadays, I will, if I'm wrong, which is rare, I will apologize. But once upon a time, I could not see any fault in anything I did or said.
Really?
Yeah, and I can say that now because now I take pride in like self-reflection. Like, anything that happens, I always like replay it and think about it and think, even if nothing went wrong, I just think, how could I have done that different, or how can I have done that better? Even just little conversations, like episodes like this, we'll record it and then I'll leave and I'll be like when I watch it back, I notice that I bite my lip a lot and I'm like, oh, that's pissing me off. And then like I'll be like, okay, I'm not going to do it again. And then I'll do it again. But at least I know that I do that. But yeah, it's true. I think ego with me, when it's held me back is, you know, like I always think about getting like an extra job or just like there's always money to be made. That's all I ever think about. And I'm like, I have evening, like I work a 9 to 5 pretty much. And so I have weekends free. I have weekends free and evenings free. Really, there's no reason I couldn't be working an extra job. But my ego will tell me I can't be a cleaner, I'm above that.
Oh,
do you know what I mean?
Very interesting and real.
Because like in my day job, like I'm a manager.
You've got respect. Yeah.
I'm a manager in the NHS. Or even like not even just a cleaning job, because I would do a cleaning job. That's a bad example. But within my hospital, so there's a thing called the bank, which is like just workers that you can come in and work on a reception desk or something. I couldn't work on the bank at my hospital.
Because you don't want people to see you there and see you in the managerial role.
Exactly. And that is purely my ego.
Very
But
good
it's so stupid because number one,
making money.
it's on my doorstep. Number two, make money. Number three, I already know the damn place.
It makes sense.
Like, it makes all the sense, but my ego just won't allow it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where I've really struggled with ego, again, because I've always been luckily to be it's not through luck, it is through parenting. Like I have to give it to my mum for this because like you said about the super ego one, like that's made from your parenting stuff. Like she's always...
Is it
always,
only?
Not just only, but a lot of it's to do because it's 3 to 5.
Significantly,
So sadly you're around them mostly them ages. I wasn't on road. I don't know about you, but...
I wasn't on road.
That was so good. It slipped in. You didn't even know it was coming. Anyway, so I've always been affirmed and told I'm the shit and just that I'm brilliant. So that's why I've always been comfortable wherever I am, because I'm always just like, well, I know you might have a problem with me not doing that, but I'm cool. So it is what it is. So that's why I feel like I've just never had that problem. What I have had a problem with is the super ego, because I've also been very critical.
Yeah.
And I thought I was shit. And I thought I wasn't good enough for a lot of stuff. So that in a way, other people from the outside will be like, that's good, because that's pushed you harder, blah, blah, blah. But it hasn't, because it also holds you back from doing things because you don't feel that you are capable of doing certain things. And you feel like you have to work 10 times harder when you don't. And you can cause yourself bad, like, you know, mental health from doing that. And you also feel like you're constantly being like, I feel like you get a bit like paranoid almost. And you can come across as an asshole because you are constantly having to prove to people, I'm the shit. So before you even know it, you've told people in 10 seconds all the things that you're most insecure about. So like, yeah, I do this, I do that, and I used to be so like that to the point that it sickens me to think about it. No, not as much. And what I say now, you're actually so deep for that, because I've actually just shared something so personal and about my ego. And you were just saying self-reflection and all of that. Like, come on. Right. I'm not like that about things that don't need to be like that. But I used to be like that about things that I don't need to be like that about. Do you know what I mean? Like I was talking about things as if I was the shit on everything, but it was from my own insecurities and from my own ego problems. And that was my biggest one. That super
Is ego and insecurities linked?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because if a person's ego isn't strong or they're not comfortable or it's not I suppose if their superego is more overpowering of things and those messages in the superego are harmful, you are going to think that you're so shit at things and you're going to think badly of yourself. So a reaction to thinking badly of yourself is talking about yourself like you're the shit all the time. That's why you get like men, for not saying all men are shit, but for example, a man can have an amazing girl and she's so this and she's so that, blah, 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 but he'll make her feel really bad about herself. He'll make her really insecure. He'll be really all these things to her because that's how he feels about himself.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Or imagine like a guy feeling like, oh, like I think maybe like she's better than me. For example, if they're in a relationship and he thinks, oh, I think she's better than me, and then all of a sudden she's like saying something like, oh, you know what, you're actually a fucking dick, and then he's like, oh shit, like, you know what I mean? Maybe he like that triggers that insecurity of him feeling like he's not good enough, and then he's like tries to put her down so that, do you know what I mean, to protect his ego.
Okay. Or he cheats on her so that he feels gratified and like someone else does see me and blah blah blah.
I read something
Women do it
once,
too though, obviously.
and it was like that our mind seeks to gratify our kind of thoughts about ourselves, or I guess our mind seeks to gratify our ego. So for example, if we're telling ourselves something like, we look in the mirror and we like are very critical of ourselves, for example, our mind, like if we tell ourselves that and we almost feel like good, or like that's what we should do, like we look in the mirror and that's instantly what we do, like tell ourselves like, oh, you look bad, you look bad, you look bad, and we kind of feel gratification because we're like, oh, that's true. But if you look in the mirror and you like say all these good things about yourselves for long enough amount of time, your ego almost changes, and it's like then you feel and then you feel like actually you believe that you are beautiful and you see the good things, and that you get gratification from saying the good things instead. So I found that really, really interesting.
Because if you think about it, your body and your mind, obviously they're linked, but they are also separate. Like the chemical reactions in your body can't always tell the difference. So anxiety, for example, and being scared about something, the effects that your body goes through, aka like heart beating fast, sweaty, out of breath, or whatever it is the same as being really, really excited. So if you tell yourself in that moment when you're shitting yourself that you're actually very excited, your body's not going to know any different because it's the same reactions. So that's basically exactly similar to what you were saying.
Idea. Don't you think though, in arguments though specifically, I feel like this is something that everyone has been through, and I feel like now, if I'm ever going to be with someone, they would have to have their ego in check. Because I feel like that destroys relationships. Like I had an argument with my sister last year, and I feel like the fact that, you know, when people just argue just for the sake of it, like they know that they're wrong, but they just keep going anyway, or like not saying sorry, I feel like that just ruins it. All that ruins relationships.
I don't
Like,
get bothered when
ego
people
just
say
get in the
sorry.
way. But what if they did something wrong and they like, and you've clearly shown like you've done something wrong, and they're just like, they just don't want to say sorry because they're just like, I'm not saying sorry.
I don't need them to say it if you can show it though. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't need you
I
to. It's very hard to forgive. Sorry, it's very hard to forgive someone that doesn't want to be forgiven. So for me, if there's a person and they've like done so much shit and blah blah, but they've been like, all right, cool, sorry, I'm not going to feel any better.
No.
Whereas if they don't say sorry, but they're just they've taken it on and they don't do that again, or I'll feel more like.
But I feel like saying sorry is the
just need
first
to say
step
sorry.
of like recognizing.
Because sometimes somebody will do you wrong.
Yeah.
And then.
And what I'm just supposed to carry on and hope you don't do it again.
And then just move on as though it never happened. What about that? Because they're not showing you that they're sorry, but they're just showing you, they're just acting normal, like it never happened. That to me is rude.
And sometimes like they'll never say sorry, but even if they're acting the right way, then they'll do it again and then be like, oh, you're just like last time, and then it'll be like, oh shit, it's because you didn't say sorry. I can't even say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay, I hear that. I do hear that. Yeah, I just think for me, like, I need the action of things. So
if
for
somebody
me,
if I came right now and slapped you in the face, and then you started like crying, and then I sat down, and then afterwards I came and gave you like a sweet.
Obviously, I won't be friends with you.
And then said, what are you doing later?
Yeah, but from when you've done something like that, that's it.
But then if I slapped you and then I went, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean that. I'm really sorry. Please, like, forgive me. Like, I just got out of character for a minute and I just didn't.
Fair enough.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, okay, fine. But I'm saying you wouldn't have to say the words "I'm sorry" with all the other stuff. So you could have just been like, "Oh God, I don't know what happened to me there. I did not mean that." Blah blah blah. blah. But I'm saying because some people really suffer because of ego.
Sorry.
Because of, that's what I'm saying. I don't need that. I don't need that.
You need to recognise that you were wrong, and saying "I'm sorry" is a recognition that you were wrong and that you have regret that you wish you didn't do that.
Maybe someone's followed the off shoe rule.
Oh, I'm not doing that.
But I think, do you know why I think I feel that about sorry? Because I've had so many people wrong me, and they've said sorry. And it's meant fuck all.
Yeah,
but
then
I've had people wrong me and not said sorry.
Yeah.
But we've been cool.
I need the action afterwards.
Because they reacted.
I need the sorry and the action.
I need an example.
Okay, for example, my mum always taking the piss out of me in terms of not just like verbally, but just doing shit wrong and just but I will say to her, you really F me off. And I know my mum, and I know something she really, really struggles with is saying sorry. But she can show it. She will do so much more. She won't do it again. She'll understand. We'll talk. She'll do so many other things. So it's like, it's not that deep for me to get those words
Is that
from
your
her.
main source of pulling that, like that?
No.
Oh.
Other people in my life. I've got loads for the first example. People that have said sorry or not meant it. My dad.
Yeah.
My friends.
I've had people
Most
say
people
sorry and they don't mean it.
Yeah.
But I can tell when you do mean it. And I need to hear it.
It's a
I
bonus.
do
It's
for
a
me
bonus
to move
for me.
on.
It's a bonus.
I don't think I can move on without
Fair
it.
enough, that's fine.
I feel like it's like therapy. Like that's where you begin, admitting that something actually happened and saying sorry.
And I feel like
that's
them
the
saying
beginning.
sorry
then
is
we can
doing
move on
that
and try.
because somebody would even say, "I'm sorry you feel that way."
Oh
That
yes. See,
pisses me
that,
off.
do you know what I think it is?
I'm
That is
sorry
for
you
me.
feel that way.
I feel like the sorry isn't even just the sorry; it's the recognition that they are overcoming their ego for that. That's what it is.
Okay.
It's like showing that, you
That
know
as
what, no
well,
one likes
yeah.
to say sorry and admit that they're wrong. No one likes to do it. But showing me that shows that
Yeah.
you are mature and that you can
Yeah.
say that for the benefit of
Because you'd
the
want
two
me
of
to
us.
fucking say sorry.
Yeah.
Not if it was going to put you through a thing where that's like proper hard for you. And it's
Why
easy
should
for
it?
you.
Well, yeah, but why?
Exactly, that
I
just
wronged
shows.
you. I should
Yeah.
say sorry. So what if it's hard for me? I shouldn't have wronged you.
Yeah, fair enough. Maybe it's just me being too nice. But I've
Maybe.
had occasions of a lot of people in my life who really, because of their bad egos, not the bad egos, but their damaged egos, they struggle to admit they're sorry. But what they can do is act right. And I'm like, all right.
But there needs to be a conversation had.
For sure.
Yeah, but in that conversation, they've shown me they're sorry. I don't need because they've done other shit. Okay,
Coffee?
I understand.
Tea?
No. They've just been like, I understand that that's upset you, and I can so understand where my actions were wrong. 100%.
Okay.
That's an apology, though.
Admittance of
Yeah,
wrong.
I'm just saying those words. I'm sorry isn't the only
Okay.
way.
Okay.
That's all I'm
So you
saying.
still require an apology of some sort.
Yeah,
sort. Of
okay,
course,
right.
we need to have a
Fair.
conversation.
I thought you was just talking about
Yeah.
like
We
Me
could just
too.
get up and move on like
Let's
nothing's
just
happened.
move
Yeah.
No way.
forward,
yeah.
No way. And especially for me as well, the reason it's not a biggie is because I have got the strong enough ego in a positive way to know what's bad for me and what triggers my super ego in a wrong way. So if I'm letting somebody around me constantly, I almost feel like I don't have a right to, but it's my own fault that I'm allowing myself to feel like this every single time they come around because I know they're not good for me, but I've kept them there. That is where I'm also good at being like, bye. I don't have to do that.
Do you think like having a certain level of like an ego is important?
Yeah,
Or is that going
definitely.
to be called something else?
No, I don't think that we need to have a certain ego. I think what we need to spend time doing is undoing our super ego issues.
I think it's important to still have your boundaries and know your worth, but also like
Definitely.
having, knowing yourself enough to be like, right, I'm not going to have that. I'm not
Because-
taking that.
yeah.
Like,
And
I'm not
if
putting
we-
myself, I'm not going to say sorry for certain things. Do you know what I mean? Don't be a pushover. There's an extent.
Certain things.
Yeah, there's certain things.
Yeah, don't we want people that just say sorry
Yeah.
and you don't even know you've
Yeah.
done wrong, or you don't.
just saying
if
it
you
for the sake
actually
of
don't
it.
feel like you've done wrong,
Yeah.
get to the bottom of it. Because some
Yeah.
people will just say sorry to lock off the conversation.
Yeah. That's also sorry. And then it happens next
Yeah.
week. And you're
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Hence why I'm saying sorry, don't mean shit.
Been
But
there.
anyway, what I was going to say as well. Yeah, so back to my point about the super ego thing. If we are getting most of our super ego, like the critical, the ideal self, from the people around us, that's what we look at.
The morals and everything.
And that's created more like at those primitive ages, for example, like 3 to 5 or
yeah.
whatever. Who I had around me when I was 3 to 5 compared to who I have around me now is completely different. I want to be more like the people I have around me now. And I don't know if you saw my post on my Insta story earlier on yesterday. It was about how when people, it's something about change and how like people are like, oh, you've changed. And I was saying like the amount of people who've told me I've changed in a bad way, like, oh, you've changed. But I hadn't changed. I'd just grown. But now I've got some people around me and I must change daily. Like,
It's crazy. Nobody's ever told me that you've changed. In fact, I get the opposite. I've been like, everyone says to me, she's been the same since she was about 4. Like when I say I've been me forever, I'm not joking.
yeah, but the thing is, I haven't actually changed. To them, they're angry that
Yeah.
they haven't. Again,
Or maybe like, you have
But
changed in a good
does
way.
family tell you that you've changed?
Never.
No. Okay.
People tell me I've changed all the time. Like even I saw my friend that I hadn't seen in like a year, and he was just like, I just feel like you're so different now. Like you're like someone else. I feel like I need to get to know you. Like I just think you're so amazing. Like you've just completely changed. Like in a good way. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
That's a
Like,
good
even
thing,
my
though.
family have said I've
Yeah.
changed. Like, everyone has said I've
But
changed.
there's a difference.
But, like, it's
if you
good.
think about it, change is growth, and growth is
Yeah.
change.
I don't
But
wanna
when
be
a
who I was 6 years ago.
Thank you. But when a person says to you, you've changed, that's
Oh, yeah.
them putting you down
Yeah.
for your growth. But I sort of said in my post, I was like, I've got some people around me now, and they must witness my changes all the time. But they say, oh, you've grown. It's good.
yeah.
Oh, I like that you've done that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So no one could ever make me feel like, oh, you've changed, and doubt
Yeah.
myself anymore.
Yeah.
Because I realise that that's you feeling insecure or feeling whatever about your thing. So yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
So yeah, I do think it's important to have an ego. We all need one. I don't think it's important. We can't help the fact that we have one. Simple as
Yeah.
that. We need to make that one the best one it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's just constantly questioning how you feel. If you feel some type of way about something, just make sure you know why you feel that way and you're not just letting your emotions lead you.
Maybe we should just take more. What, you might have just said this already.
About the super ego.
Yeah, make that take control a bit more.
No, I'm saying that takes a lot of the control, but just make sure what that looks like is healthy. Because for me, for my example, my super ego was very critical and very, very wrong messages. I had messages in there, like mainly from my dad, which was all about lack of self-worth. Like, you don't give yourself nice things. Don't do this. You're not worth it. All of these things would get in my head. So then I'd feel guilty for like earning loads of money, or I'd feel guilty for doing nice things, or I'd feel like I've changed in a bad way. I think I'm too good for things when it's not. I'm just taking care of myself. Those kind of messages I need to undo so that I don't feel insecure or like challenged by that kind of stuff. Because their ego, like if I can imagine, his ego must just look a mess. Because boy,
Can you imagine if we could just like tip it out on the table and just
I think
look.
that I can get colours from people, you know. There's certain people I can feel colours from, and I know if it's like I can just see, like, if you're like a dark, like kind of colour, stay away from me. And the more it's going to sound a
What's
bit
mine?
too mad. It's not everyone. It's not everyone.
Okay.
It's not like you two. Like but it's like there's certain people
Oh,
that
right,
I
yeah.
can
It's
connect
like
with,
warning
and I'm just like,
signs
I'll see dashes of. Like, there will be some, like when you
Okay,
do like really cute things, or I see little things happen, I'm just like, oh, and like same with
pink.
you, yeah, like flashes of pink. But then when I see like little stripes,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, oh, fucking
Yeah,
hell.
yeah.
And then it's down to me to be like, okay, can I take that? This person has those dashes
That's
of
those red flags coming up.
yeah. Exactly. But yeah, that's besides the point. And I was also going to say that as I've got more in touch with like not spirituality as such, but more the belief and faith in everything happens for a reason, energy, the universe, all that kind of stuff, I can see that a lot more. But I was going to ask, give examples of when you've overcome or grown past your ego that you can remember.
All right, so
Oh, that didn't take long. I thought I was going to be.
no, I want to keep repeating myself, but I think again, I think especially with my ex, he had a huge ego and was just very toxic, and it would make me believe that I was in the wrong, would be very manipulative, and I feel like in a way that did help me to control my ego, but also in a bad way, because I would a lot of the time
Stamp down yours to make
because
him
I was
feel better.
so and a lot of time I was so like trying to figure out like why is this not working, like I tried everything, and that really made me like look into myself to make sure 100% like
It's
if
not
we're
you.
having an argument, I know sure as hell it's not me, because I am being as like nice and like hard on myself, really trying to give you the benefit of the doubt with a lot of things, and I really making sure, even though I really want to just have a go at you and be so horrible, I know that that's gonna, or if I know that you're being horrible and I want to give it back to you, I'm not going to do that, because I know that's going to like, do you know what I mean? So I feel like even though it was really bad, and a lot of time that made me getting walked all over, and me just getting like, he's like saying the worst to me, and I'm just standing here like, I'm not going to get mad. Like, I understand you feel that way, but I'm going to say sorry anyway. And like, but yeah, so I feel like, but now I definitely feel like I've overcome that. And like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like was a big development in learning, I think, how to overcome my ego, but not taking it too far now.
Yeah, okay. My one was a lot about within places that weren't workspaces, similar to what you're saying. I would feel like I had to get the same respect in every other environment that I would at work, because I'd go home and just get dissed, or like to my friends and be dissed badly.
Do you know who I am?
Yeah.
Ask Carlos. I was a bad boy in jail.
Literally. I felt to just like get my Instagram up. Everything be like, look,
Yeah.
look, me.
Do you even know
look.
me?
Literally.
Put some respect on my name.
That's literally how I felt all the time. But then I felt, why do I feel like that? Do you know what I mean? What is wrong with you that you
I
need
feel-
this
that's how I
constant...
feel
I
sometimes.
honestly just felt like, why do I need this constant? But then I realised it's because I lacked that belief in myself. So I ate it up from the outside world. That validation was like, yes. But you shouldn't need the outside world to give you that. You should have it from yourself. You should tell yourself every day the self-affirmations. All of them. So when I started doing that, I didn't need it from anyone else. Yeah. And then I started realising everyone else who I wanted to get on board was giving it to me. Too late for you, fuckers. But yeah, that was my main one. And also, this isn't really ego, but I suppose it is as well. By understanding mine a bit more, I was able to understand the people around me more. So I could see that, like, the reason you're talking to me like that is because you struggle with this and this. The reason, and then again, when you can understand these things, it gives you back the power. Yeah. Because a lot of the time, when you don't understand these things, you just feel like, oh, I have to put up with this person because they're whoever they are to me. And I don't know why they do that to me. Why do they talk to me like that? Yeah. But then when you understand, oh, you talk to me like that because of that and that you struggle with. Cool. Then I can decide, do I want to be around that? Yeah. Yeah. And then when you start making that decision, then you feel a lot more empowered about things.
Mine's literally a split of what both you just said. That's crazy. So I have that problem where I'm like, I feel like I've done so well and so well, relative.
Why are you letting your ego get in the way?
Because like, it's well on a scale, do you know what I mean? Like it's not my idea of well.
Yeah, that's your super ego that you need to chat to and say, pipe that down.
If it was my idea of well, I wouldn't be looking for a weekend job. But
why do you think that? Okay, fair enough. This is good. This is a real life example here, viewers. You're lucky. So with you don't think that you to be well in your eyes, that means you need to have no debt and all the money that you have, for example, you can spend frivolously and still be patterned. Why do you think that is well?
Because then I wouldn't have to have other worries. That's well for me because it would make me a lot happier. I wouldn't have extra worries.
But what I'm trying to say to you is the reason that's well for you is based on the experiences and the life that you've had. So to you, probably because you didn't grow up with a lot of money, for example, money is a thing for you where you're like, always have to have, always have to have. Happy, But you've got to look at someone else just to give yourself perspective and give yourself an easier time.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said it's relative because somebody else might look at me and think,
she's got it all.
Shit, she's got it all.
Which you do, really, on paper. Yeah. Like, honestly, even facts-wise, to live, where did I see this? I saw this somewhere. But if you live in a house or if you live somewhere and you've got a roof over your head and you've got running water and you blah, 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 you're already in the top 10% of the world.
Yeah, I read that somewhere as well.
Yeah.
And the fact, can we just appreciate, you're like a young woman that like lives in London and you're affording like rent on your own and everything like that. Like,
me. Your own yard.
That's mad.
That's a mad thing.
That's mad.
Literally.
Like, people can't afford shit in London. There's a mad housing crisis.
But at the same time, I understand why you feel that way because I have had the same
But my age mates are out here buying houses.
Yeah, that's the same with me. I was like that as well.
That's like some.
Yeah, but are they in London?
Yeah.
Buying houses in London?
Basically London.
Okay, that's a big basically, by the way. And we're going to have to have...
London.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it
is. Kedeisha. No, it's not.
London.
Right.
Okay, before we start to...
Don't at me. Don't at me.
And also, why is that important? Yeah, your age mates might be buying houses, but are they doing X, Y, and Z that you've done? Have they got a podcast? Are they putting in the hours every Monday?
True.
Thursday, I mean.
True.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like you have to, and also as well, what I class as the biggest win now is knowing about your mind.
Yeah.
That puts you head and shoulders above
that.
Self-aware and
winning at that.
Yeah, I'm getting so the self-affirmations, my bedside tables, I've got picture frames with like different affirmations in them. I mean, I don't actually read them every day, but they're there in my subconscious. Like I wake up, first thing I look at is that. And then I have it like on my phone as a screensaver, and things like that. So I do tell myself stuff, and like I don't literally stand in the mirror like you are beautiful, but like I just say things like, "Oh, you can do this, you got this, like this is easy," things like that.
And even who you surround yourself with,
and that plays a big part.
Being friends with me was a big step for you.
Yeah, she takes it out of me. She does. And then the other one is so with like relationships, as in like family, friend, boy, whatever. When like me always forgiving people despite me knowing, that's what I'm saying. Someone saying sorry and meaning it is a big deal, but it's like I never really get that. But I know I need it to move on, but because I don't really get it, and the fact that I've had to just get over situations anyway, despite knowing, to like save that relationship. bothers me
Yeah.
to my core.
Yeah. It
To
is
the
a
point
form of
where
mistreatment, man.
I'll
It
get
is.
over it. It's fine.
And lack of
but the
self-worth.
second you do
Yeah.
something out of line again, I'm just going to be taken right back there again and think, are you
Yeah.
stupid? Like, I let you back in after you did that.
Yeah.
And then this is what you want to do
Yeah.
now again. Like, things like that. And that's my ego. Because really, like, people will make continual mistakes.
No,
like,
or you shouldn't have let them back in the first place.
or that. But like,
But the reason you
if I
let
cut
that
everybody
happen was
off,
because-
I'd just literally be a lone wolf.
No, it's not even that. It's a natural process because I've exactly felt that as well. And I felt like, fucking hell, I can't start putting in these restraints for people because everyone disses me currently.
Yeah.
So if I do it on that,
Basically.
then I'm gonna. But honestly, I promise you, there is
Yeah.
not any person in my life that I fuck with heavily that disses me anymore.
But I feel like people know when I'm upset, and they know that when they're about to do something that's going to upset me, they know how I'm going to react, but they know I'll get over it.
Yeah, that's
So-
the thing.
so they'll
That's the
do
thing.
it
People take
anyway.
the
But
piss.
that's only some people. Only some people will do that
So you know
because
it's not a
it's
good
about
friend.
respect. Exactly. There's bare
Someone
people
that really
would.
cares for you wouldn't want to do that to you.
Yeah.
Would they?
That's what I
100%.
learned. And so having to leave people behind is so hard. Like, but in the end, do you know what I mean? You find ones that are part of your tribe.
And you've also
I
got.
mean, I'm not just talking about friends.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
family.
and that was
That's what I'm
hard. See, that's
saying.
what happened with my sister though, because with my sister, she fully betrayed me. She didn't want to say sorry. She was not having it, even though she knew full and well that she did wrong. And I was literally like, oh, okay, so I've fully like lost my sister. I literally said to her at one point, I was like, this is literally your ego. You're literally. I said sorry, even though I shouldn't have. But anyways, and I was like, you are literally not going to say sorry because of your ego. You're putting your ego before me. Like, this is what you want to do. And she was like, yeah, so this is what I'm going to do.
My dad.
So I was
That's
like, we didn't talk
so-
7
that's
months.
so
We didn't talk. I was
hurtful.
fully ready to like that was it for me.
And
that
you live
was
in
it.
the same house.
Yeah, I didn't speak to her for 7 months. And then in the end, she was really trying to like become friends with me again, try and cook me dinner and stuff like that. And
So
which
the
I
thing,
still feel
they
to this
will
day
come
unsure.
around. Yeah, this is the
Yeah,
thing.
but they come around and they come back if you let them.
Yeah.
It's a choice of your own. And I'm not saying that was a bad choice, Jade, but I'm saying for you in that time, that's the best thing for you.
Yeah.
It's still
and
a
at
decision
least
you
that
made
I gave
for you.
The silence showed that I'm not going to take this shit. Like, if you do that next time, I'm not just going to forgive you next week. Like, you want to go for a whole 7 months of silence.
Times two this time.
I don't know. Yeah, next time. I suppose if it's the second time, it's done. Like, if it's the
And
second time,
also,
I'm not having that shit. anymore.
having people around you that treat you badly is a comfort blanket because you know you sort of got the right to throw back at them. So that's what's happened with me. I had a lot of people around me where I was like, okay, they treat me like shit, but at the same time, if I call her a bitch and a slag one day, she'll be cool because she does that to me
she's
every day.
done, yeah.
Or like with my dad, if he's like, I could throw anything at him because how he talks to me
Yeah.
is mad. There's no one I can talk to.
Yeah,
like
people
that.
always
It's
do that in an
crazy.
argument. They'll be like, well, you said da-da-da before, so...
And it's a
just
form
like,
of coming
oh.
outside
This
of
is
your
why
comfort zone.
And you
but
get
the
stuck in a
I
cycle.
don't like arguing because I know for a fact, like, words stick. People don't forget the things that people say. Like, if you
Yeah.
hit me, yeah, it will hurt in the moment, and then I'll always remember you hit me, but I won't remember that pain all the time. Whereas the words, like, you're gonna go to sleep, you'll be doing kiki, but you're like, oh, remember when she called me a bitch? Like,
Yeah.
that you'll never forget it. Like, you'll be sitting down eating dinner together, and you'll be like, but you really called me a bitch last week. Like, and I'll just be thinking about it all the time. So I don't like to argue with people. I don't like to get into
Yeah.
it. I'll have a debate. Like, I'll go back and forth with you for a little bit, but as soon as I feel like I'm about to
Lose it.
cross
Like,
a
say
line,
something,
I'll
yeah.
stop. Like, I will just end it there. I'll say, look, I can't do this with you. And if I'm on the phone, I'll hang up. If I'm with
I
you,
think
I'll
that's
walk
good,
away.
though. You just need to take some time. You just
But
need
it's
to remove
not
yourself from the
because
situation.
I
as long as you
I
readdress
should
it.
be able to say what I want to say. Not to say that I'm going to go and call people bitches, but
You
I should be able to
express yourself.
express
Yeah.
myself. But I know that, number one, people can't handle the truth about themselves.
Yeah.
Like, and number two, I might not articulate it in a pleasant way, and it might be hurtful. And I know that words stick. There's plenty of things people have said to me that I will never forget. And even in the happiest of times, we could be sat laughing together. That's always in the back of my mind. And so I don't want to do that with people.
Yeah.
But is that my super ego stopping me from doing that?
Yes.
Because my ID wants to fucking punch you in the face.
Yeah.
My ego wants to cuss you so it sticks.
Yeah.
And my super ego is just there like this.
Yeah. Literally, it is that. Because your super ego has the message somewhere
Yeah.
that like, oh, it's not okay to make people feel bad. Even though people make you feel bad, it's not
Yeah.
okay to make other people feel bad.
Yeah.
People don't, when those people are telling you whatever, they weren't thinking about, oh, the truth's hurtful though, so I should, do you know what I mean? And also it's like, when you don't do that, when you don't let it out in a way that I hear what you're saying about like hanging up on whatever when you're about to blow, but you do, like she said, you need to readdress it.
Yeah.
You need to then bring up. But the thing with you is,
It depends on who you're doing it with.
If they're worth your
'Cause
time.
some
if they're
people-
worth you, always.
Some people, like, you could have an argument and then go to sleep, come back the next day and be like, look, I'm calmer now, blah, blah, blah. But some people, you'll come back calmer and then they just take you there again.
Oh,
Do you know what I
then
mean?
fuck them then. If they can't talk reasonably, like you're trying to talk to them like a reasonable human being, sort it out. And if they're just trying to go on 100, it's like, look, I'm trying to sort this out now.
Yeah.
Put your ego aside, stop getting mad, because that's their ego
yeah.
then.
It's true, yeah.
And also, there's a reality check for everyone. This is the thing that everyone always misses as well. As people, we need to think about what is best for us. If that person in your life who takes you there, even though you blah, 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 it's best for some reason, practicality, you're meant, like whatever, it's best for them to be in your life, then keep them there. But you just need to know that is going to happen. So then you make the choice.
Yeah.
Do I know that's going to happen and I keep them around and then therefore I avoid situations like this, or I do this or I do that, blah, blah, blah. And always know that because I can't control everything, there's a chance that could happen again. Or do I let them off? Simple as that. But we don't ever want to give ourselves that choice. I don't know why. We would rather always be like, okay, it's fine, it's done now, it's not going to happen again. Why? Like,
Don't get me wrong, I have like lost a few people along the way because of that. And like now, this is why I'm very much like very on a lone wolf vibe. Like I just sort of just do my own thing. And then those who want to be around are around. Those who don't. I don't really notice either way.
Yeah. But what's wrong with that?
Nothing's wrong with it, I guess. Nothing's wrong with it, but like...
It's not what you used to have had.
It's okay. Sometimes it's just nice to have
I get you.
like a...
Strength in numbers.
No. What am I looking for? Like a flipping hell. Can't think of the
Congregation.
no man.
Community.
Close friend. Or
Like a
someone
community.
that-
Like
Okay.
it's nice to have like to know like I've got that person
Yeah.
over there. I've got that person over there if I need them. I got that person over there if I need
Have
them.
security.
But when
in
you
your-
don't have that because you know that you can't necessarily like rely on said people
Yeah.
or they've got bad traits and you can't really vibe with that too tough. And you know that you've only got yourself. When you're down, it's hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Harder to get through. Do you know what I mean? Because although you might have found your own coping mechanism, sometimes if you had those other people, it just might have been a bit
Yeah.
easier. Do you know
Might
what I
though.
mean?
Might.
Might, yeah. You know,
It's true because I
never
feel like
know.
when you're in, I feel like when you're in a bad place, you start seeing the worst, and then things that previously you'd have been like, oh, well, they're good for this, or like they're good for this, is fine. When you're in a bad place, you're just like you kind of write everyone off like, oh, they're not even true friends anyway. Like I'm just
Yeah,
on my
it's
own.
true,
Like you
it's
just
true.
starting like, you know what?
It's always when you're down that you know who's really there.
Yeah.
And to go what you said about like, but it is strength in numbers. That's what you're saying. You're saying that if you had bare people, then it would also you could always call someone sort of thing. But
Or is it just
Network is the
quality?
word I think I was
network,
looking for,
okay,
yeah.
fair enough. But quality, exactly. And sadly, to even be in a position where you are a lone wolf, you've realised through experiences that said people don't mean much and they can't do much. So in that
It's
situation
not even
of-
just that. I feel like this is probably another episode for another day, but just sometimes people are just unreliable.
yeah, people are very unreliable.
In every sense of the word, like
100%.
relying on them to do stuff, relying on them to be there for you, relying on
Yeah.
them to say the right thing,
Yeah.
relying on them to give you the support that you need. Just every sense of the word, they're just unreliable. So it's like, or like I say, like I don't forget things. If you've let me down before, like the relationship, even though we might start talking again, the relationship is never going to be the same again.
Yeah.
Like I can move past things, but I can't forget
Me too.
them and I
forgive,
can't
but
get
I
over
don't
them.
forget. Like I always
Like,
remember that
yeah, but
you have
don't
that
you
within you to do that.
But don't you think there's certain people that you can have a breakup with and then you can make mates again or relationships or whatever?
I have to see
Yeah.
concrete that
Yeah.
you've
But
changed.
the-
like,
but the relationship's not gonna be the same
Yeah,
again.
it won't be the same, but it can be a different form.
I'm yet to experience it being better.
Fair enough. Okay. But then maybe that's about the quality of the person,
Definitely.
which we can all agree on. Yeah.
Right.
it's really interesting to
I
see
know.
how it all affects
This-
people
this
in
was
different
a-
ways.
Surprisingly
It's like a little
good one,
thing.
wasn't
Yeah,
it?
it was.
It shocked you.
All right, let's
Was it
do
your
the shout
idea?
out.
Was it you that, that was
It
like,
was
let's
your
talk about
idea.
ego?
No, it was me.
No, it was you, yeah.
Oh, was it
She
you?
was like, let's
Oh.
do ego.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Such a big ego. All right, we're not making that go. All right. Right, I've got some good shout outs to do.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'll go first. I never
okay.
go first. I'm
All
going
right, yeah.
first. Right.
You never go first because you don't want to go
Yeah,
first.
but I said that one episode and now every episode it's just like, okay.
All right, go on.
Right.
Have your time to shine.
I've got two.
No.
I don't care.
It's all one only when it's me. but when
Listen,
it
because
comes to her,
next week when it's time for shout out, she'll be like, I can't think of one. Go on, do you
Okay,
two.
Right. First one is Hustlers movie.
Okay.
Everyone go watch that. Cardi's not in it very much.
Is she not?
She's not.
Did she produce it then?
She did something. I think it's based on a true story, which I think is hers.
Right.
But it was very, very, very good. And no spoilers. Okay, yeah, no spoilers. But I was really, 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 really impressed with it because I thought it was one of those films where you see all the good bits in the trailer.
Oh yeah.
And it turns out to be
Hate when they
shit. And
do
you're like,
that.
oh, why is this all? It's so dead. And you know you got Cardi B in it and you got J-Lo. So you're thinking, oh, but it was actually very good. Honestly, strong 8 from me. And I don't say that lightly. Second one is, by the time you watch this, someone who came on our pod before, Biseo, will be in The Circle on Channel 4.
Oh my
Shut
god.
up.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
you wanted to tell me.
Oh
My cousin
God.
applied for that.
Yes.
I was going to apply for it. I actually was.
Yeah.
I went on the application and my cousin applied for it and she was like, yeah, it took me like 2 days. And I was like, shit, I ain't got 2 days right now. So I was like, I'll do it on the weekend. And then I opened it up on the weekend. It was like, applications have closed. And I was like,
Trust me.
Oh,
Now
that's
I'm
mad.
doing. You're
Go
gonna
on,
get your.
Biseo.
Thank you. You're gonna get your expose reveal about everything in the next episode because I'll try to pick a mix. And for the 15 min, I'm gonna be speaking not just about that, but her is involved in what I'm talking about. So I don't want to talk too much, but told you it'd be good too. Good.
That's good. Oh my god, I'm so excited to watch her.
You're welcome.
Anyways, okay, so my shout out, I'm not gonna lie, I'm stealing this from one that you have done before, but I've been watching it recently. It's called Explained on Netflix. It's amazing. It's narrated by Emma Stone, and I watched one the other day.
Who's
and
Emma?
Emma Stone.
I don't know who that is.
La La Land.
Nope. She blonde?
Sometimes. And sometimes she's
Explained.
ginger.
Are you sure
Yes.
it's called explained? Do you mean unexplained? Is it about?
Oh, my
Is it
God.
15 minutes?
Yeah.
Is it narrated by Emma Stone?
Yeah.
Who's Emma
Do you
Stone?
know what? Let me check my facts, yeah? I'll be back.
Oh my god! This is the one I've told you about bare times.
I don't know. I saw it and then I
With
saw it was
the
called
water,
Explained.
with the
Oh my
water one,
God.
with the gender gap,
I
with
think
the
there's
this,
two.
with the that. There's
I think
there's a
two.
whole series of
yeah,
them,
I know,
Jade.
but like I watched that one, but then there's this one, and it's also called Explained. So I thought this was the one that you were talking about. Anyways, wait, let me jump. You go.
Okay. Hers is on pause. Go on.
Okay. So, on my way here, I came through London Bridge Station and I seen this guy like standing just before you go through from the overground to the underground. And he was a young black man and he looked about 18 to 20, maybe 17. And he was dressed in a suit and he had like a placard. And I thought, he's dressed too nice to be homeless.
Oh my god.
So I walk, yeah, because I see placard and I just think want money,
Yeah.
want food.
Read it.
I thought it was gonna say like please like and
Yeah.
he just and I don't know
Just
what I thought it was
arrived.
gonna say.
So, how you're saying it? Oh, don't even. He's making it seem like it was bad. Oh, shut up, Kedeisha. I knew she was gonna do that. Oh, just say your
Carry
thing. Oh my god.
Anyway, so yeah, I walked past him because obviously I'm rushing to get here. So I've walked past him, and as I've gone to tap in, I thought, no, I've got to go back and speak to him.
Good.
So I went back and I was like, hi, unfortunately, I can't help you. Oh, so sorry. On the plaque, it was say, I can't remember exactly what it said. I should have took a picture, but it basically said, recently finished school or something, looking for work experience in management consulting. And then it had his email address at the bottom. And I thought that is so like innovative. Like I know that people, I remember I seen a documentary before, it might have been BBC Three, and there was a guy who wanted to get into some sort of field of work. And he went to like the rich part of London and just knocked on
their
every door.
doors. I
Knocked on every
remember
door.
that.
That's so innovative. Like, and then he got
learned
somewhere,
so
didn't he?
much,
He got
yeah,
like
and
an
someone gave
apprenticeship
him, yeah.
somewhere. So I thought, obviously, London Bridge, elite station, bare traffic, rush hour time. And I said to him, how long you been out for? He said, I've been out my house. So this was about 6:30. He said he's been out his house since 9:30. But he's been to different stations.
That's
and I
so
said, has
good.
people's been speaking to you? And he was like, yeah, I've had a few people speak to me. And I thought, this is just so good.
Wow.
I said,
would have thought people just wouldn't
unfortunately,
even read, you know.
I can't help you with your management consulting, but I'm on my way to record the pod. I can shout you out if you want. And he said, yeah, I'd really appreciate that. So this shout out goes to him.
So cute.
Forgive me if I pronounce your name wrong. I think it's pronounced Joshua or Joshua. And his surname is Bapeck. And he's looking for an opportunity for work experience in management consulting. So if anybody's out there that is looking for an intern or an apprentice or just like somebody young who's got the drive, the energy, and who's like, you know, wanting to grab other opportunities you've got to give them, then give him a shout. I've got his email. It is swaybapeck, that's SWAYBAPECK @outlook.com. And like I say, he was like, I really wish I could have done more, like, but
we never know the way this will go.
Yeah. Hopefully so hopefully he listens to this pod. If you do listen to this pod, DM me and then
we'll add your @
and we'll see. Hopefully somebody sees us and we can help you out. But I think that was really good and I'm really impressed and I really hope you get somewhere.
Oh, that is so sweet.
Isn't it?
Yeah, I really like that.
Was good.
That's a good shout out. Again. All right, so mine is different to the one that Maya has previously pointed out, right? It's on Netflix and it's called The Mind Explained.
Okay.
Not explained. The Mind Explained. It's narrated by Emma Stone and it's just all these different things. It has like, I think there's 5 episodes, something like that. And it's just like it explains the mind, basically, as it says. And for example, I watched one episode about memory, like what gives us a good memory. And for example, there was a lady on there, she's like the championship, she's got like the best memory in the world. So they have these competitions apparently and she can memorize a whole page of numbers. And she explained exactly how she does it and how she comes up with each number. She sees it as like a letter and then each letter will have like a story. So, and then she'll see it on like a map. Like it's all like about visualizing it in your mind and how you remember these things.
Good at that.
And yeah,
I think I've got photographic
memory.
No, not it's similar to that, but like basically that.
Oh, wow. I think you have something because
I try and train. I'm always doing things where I try and train myself because you just never know what might happen. Like I don't know if I've told the story of when I used to pretend to be blind.
Oh my god.
No, we'll save that for another day. But
I brush my teeth with my left hand sometimes.
Yeah, like I will try and do things with my left hand just sometimes because you never know what's going to happen to your right hand.
Me. I always think
so. If I'm in a room, I will always like pay attention to my surroundings. Like remember when we came here one day and I was like, "Has that picture changed?"
Oh yeah,
and you lot didn't notice.
Did. I would never know.
It's the biggest picture in the
I
room.
keep my volume low.
What's that for?
In case I go deaf.
Okay, so
the only time I did one was that I played this game once. It's like you watch a really quick video and then ask you all these questions about a crime.
What was that? Oh,
so it's like you witness like a really quick
the museum?
crime. No, it was like I don't know. I don't even remember.
They have that in the museum.
Was it you two that told me about a game that you can play that like tests something?
I used to do brain training on the DS.
Me too.
Loved it.
Oh my god.
What was his name? Dr. Himatashi.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
Oh wow. Okay. I think we really do need to end this now.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for listening, you guys.
Thank
you.
We
hope you enjoyed.
Yes, and subscribe on the YouTube, please.
And all the places you listen to.
We're on more platforms now as well.
Yeah.
We are.
So check us out. Go on our podcast just Google it. We should be Googleable by now.
Google us.
Yeah.
Google us. Because the more you Google us, the more we're going to come up.
It's true. Please
comment, share, like,
leave
tell your
a review.
Tell your mates.
Yes.
Leave a review.
Tell us about your ego, man. Tell us. When is it affected
did you guys
big ego.
Did you guys like this episode?
Yeah.
Let us know.
Did you?
Get in touch.
Sing the song and send it in.
Yeah,
do that.
do a voice note. Do a voice note, sing a line from that song, and then we'll repost it on the Instagram.
Yeah, well, we post pretty much anything on there.
Best one wins a repost.
Yeah, literally. Well,
okay,
that would have been better if I hadn't just said that. All right.
Also, guys, this week is our Come Dine With Me. So if you've seen it on our Instagram, we're going to be doing Come Dine With Me. And today is Jade's day. Obviously, it's not really today, but the day that you're listening and watching this, it will be Jade's day. And I'm tomorrow, and then Maya's last.
But yeah, you're going to want to watch because...
You're going to want to watch because it's exciting. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm
so
literally
cute.
more excited for this than I am for Christmas.
Okay, right. Please, obviously take care of that. And watch Paseo in the Circle.
When does it start?
It's on Tuesday, it started.
Oh, okay, shit. All right, cool.
Set your reminders.
Where can I watch BBC?
No, Channel 4.
Channel 4, all right.
Yeah.
All right, thank you for listening, guys.
All right, bye.